I think the convention's got a very difficult job because the position that it's starting from, or that Wales is starting from, is a very complicated position that not many people understand, and therefore, in order to get people to make any kind of considered judgment on where Wales should go next, they've first of all got to understand the current system, and getting that message across is very difficult.
Mae ddiddorol yn safbwynt ni, achos mae'n anodd i ni fod yn gwybod sut mae pobl yn teimlo am bethau. Does dim lot o bol opinion, a dyna un papur cenedlaethol, sefyllfa cwbl wahanol i rywle fel yr Alban. Mae'n rhyw broses sy'n rhoi blas yn i ar be mae pobl yn feddwl, yn amlwg i ni'n ddiddorol. I'r rhan fwyaf bobl chi'n siarad yn nhw convention beth. Dyn nhw ddim yn gwybod beth yw e, dyn nhw ddim eto wedyn ni'r argraff ar bobl. Y bobl hynny sy'n gwybod yn barod, wel nid dyna'r bobl maen nhw eisiau cyrraedd. Dyna pa mae heno mor ddiddorol i ni, ydyn nhw'n cyrraedd y bobl eraill yna.
Do you feel that the Welsh Assembly Government and the National Assembly of Wales are using their current powers well? I'm not so sure.
Choices?
Yes, no, or you don't know.
Is it no question really know everything they do you? So you're not quite,
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think it's an extremely important issue, devolution. I'm pro-devolution. When it was in 1979 and 97, I voted for it. I don't know if the time is right yet for complete devolvement from London, but we certainly are using our powers well enough at the moment, not completely at the moment, but I'm a pro-devolutionist. I'm not separatist. I think we should always be a member of the UK.
It's not where we ideally would have wanted to start from. It's not as easy as the situation was in 1997 or even back in 1979 when people just had to make a decision about whether Wales should have an assembly or not. This time it's about a rather more complicated issue about the next stage of devolution. And as I say, for people to make a judgment about the next step, many of them will initially have to understand where we are at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I don't see why everything that we do, in Wales has got to be referred to Westminster.
I support devolution. I did support it at the beginning, and I am dismayed that a lot of Welsh people seem to want their decisions made 200 miles away. Still, I don't know whether there's a lack of confidence in the Welsh nation, but I mean the Scots voted overwhelmingly for devolution, and as you well know, the only commandments you got to me.
I don't think devolution itself is a waste of time. I think it can be done well, but I think it's got to be done gradually. I don't think we should be rushing towards independence as we are now.
Well, we have got somebody on our side now. I know we've got our MP, but we've got somebody else. To me, it's we can go to the Assembly quicker than we can go to Westminster. It's on our doorstep.
Obviously, the purpose of establishing the convention in the first place was to assess the public mood as to whether it was appropriate to have a referendum. I mean, clearly the One Wales government has made a decision in principle to have a referendum before 2011, but this was slightly qualified by the need to find out whether people in Wales were ready for such a referendum, and so therefore once that decision had been taken, it was necessary to have some kind of way of assessing that, and the convention is doing that. I mean, as I say, it's got a big challenge because a lot of people in Wales do not understand the current devolution settlement.
What do you think of this convention initiative?
Well, will it do any good? Will people come out and fill in the questionnaires and answer the questions? Unfortunately, I think we live in a world where apathy is rife and people are not bothered.
You're obviously bothered enough to become here?
Yes.
Is that because you think that devolution has been a benefit to it?
I think it is bound to benefit us. It is bound to. We're not a nation of stupid people. There's a lot of talent in Wales and a lot of brains, and we're quite able to run our own affairs.
We're a country. We should have our own government. And we should be proud to be Welsh.
I think that we've spent £67 million in a building that Ron Davies said would cost us 17 million. £50 million is a big difference, and it's questionable as to whether we should give extra powers to people who can't work out the cost of a building.
Okay. You don't think in 10 years that you personally or your community have benefited from devolution coming to Cardiff?
No. No, I don't think there's any significant difference.
And therefore, in this option here, there are two: stay as we are, or ask for more powers.
Stay where we are.
Even if you don't think much of it?
Well, we're not being asked to close it. We're being asked to keep it as it is, or give them more power. We stay as we are.